54, single, no kids, never married. And one belief I've carried way too long, that my independence makes men pull away. I've built a life I'm proud of. I bought the car I wanted. I pay my own bills. I make decisions for me. And somewhere along the line, I started wondering, am I intimidating to men? Like, maybe I'm too much, too confident, too comfortable by myself. I realize now that that belief wasn't mine. It came from other people's insecurity, not my reality. The man for me won't be scared of how I move or what car I drive. He'll admire it. He'll add to it. He'll bring something of his own without me needing to shrink. That's what I'm unpacking in the Miracle Journal, replacing old stories with new truth. It's linked below if you need to rewrite your story too.
I actually read this article that said that women who are single and don't have kids are reportedly happier than women who are married or are mothers. I think that's because happiness is easier to define.
I was about to say,
Yeah.
define happiness.
Yeah.
Does that mean that they get to travel more? Does
I
that
think that's
mean
what it is. They get to wake up every day and do exactly what they want for themselves. So it's easy to be like, of course I'm happy. I get to choose my happiness.
Yeah,
every day.
but then when they find themselves at 50, 60 years old and they're alone
Mm-hmm.
and haven't, experienced the joy of a meaningful relationship or the joy of having children or, when you get to 60, 70, you don't have any grandchildren and, your life is, starting to become boring. I mean, I don't know.
I'm childless and single, and I've never been more thankful for it in my entire fucking life. Thank you, God, for not answering those prayers. The state of the world today makes me feel like the richest fucking person alive to not have the fucking shackles of a child or a man on me. Like, I cannot believe that I was rushing to the part of my life that is forever. You can't take back who you have children with. And I thought for sure that I knew exactly who the man was that I wanted to be with, and that was a Christian man. So I was doing everything in my power to conform myself and turn into the best version of what this man would want and desire. I was morphing and bending in ways that were unbendable to myself. And no matter how close I got to what it was that I thought I wanted, God wouldn't let me have it. He wouldn't let me freaking have it. And I couldn't understand for the life of me, like, what more can I do? I needed to fucking stop. He was trying to fucking save me. Had I been stuck in a relationship with a Christian man right now, I don't know what I would have done. And I'm not talking about a Christian man like, I'm talking about the American Western version of what Christianity is. I don't fuck with that anymore. I really don't. The other day somebody asked me like, you're religious, right? And I literally was like, not that kind of religion, not America's version of religion. So I'm just so fucking thankful. And if you're there too right now, fucking God bless you, sis.
Today I turned 33. I'm not married. I have no kids, and my life is still amazing. Something I've thought about a lot is how I've just lived most of my life worried about what other people think and their judgments, and I've given in to societal pressures, as many of us do, especially as women. We think by a certain age we need to be married or have kids, and when we see everyone else around us getting married and having kids, we feel pressure. And I cannot wait one day until I'm married and I have kids. But you know what they say, the most amazing things in life are worth waiting for. So my goal is not to get married or to have kids, but to learn to love myself, accept my mistakes, accept my past, learn from it, move on, and own who I am. So for all of you girls watching this, I want you to know that there is no timeline, there is no rush. Do not give in to societal pressures. When the timing is right for you, the most amazing things will come into your life. And I wish that for each and every
people that are married and don't have children and don't want children, they are really the ones that got life figured out. And they don't get enough credit. Because, like, I don't envy many, but I envy you motherfuckers. Y'all, yeah. I know your motherfucking house is clean. I know it's quiet. You guys don't spend no Saturdays at basketball games. You guys spend Saturdays drinking tequila and eating hot wings, I would think. You guys probably plan vacations so easy and elegantly. You're not looking for, you know, a babysitter. You probably just get up and fucking go. All your fucking PTO time is used on yourself. But like, no, seriously though, it's a beautiful thing when I see couples that are married and don't have children, because I know society is always on people's backs about having kids because they act like it's the fucking pink slip to a Benz to have a damn baby. And I am a mother, and yes, I'm still gonna say that. But folks who are married and don't have kids, like, that's some real love. Because especially if y'all last 15, 20 years. Like my coworker, he been married for 30 years, and he said they never wanted children. And every time I turn around, him and his wife is on vacation. He's never getting interrupted in a Zoom meeting. I know that much. Yo, yeah. So if you married with no kids, you did that.
All right, man. So, you know, we got, you know, women in their 40s who talk about, well, I could have had a husband, I could have had kids, I could have had a family, and you know, out here saying what they could have had, and it's just a coping mechanism. Most of these women, you know, their friends are with significant others, boyfriends, husbands, have kids, and they have things going on. And one thing about women, I think people don't understand, is they are visual creatures. Very visual. Visual to the point where it's, you know, it's a detriment in a lot of situations, because you talk to women, why do they like guys with height? And like, it just look better. It's always with looks. They don't go off what's inside. It's with looks on the outside. It's not the substance. You know, that's why they get to a date or meet a guy and he looks attractive, and they don't care nothing outside of he looks attractive. You know, only complaints start coming is when they start dealing with guys they're really not attractive to. No matter if he's a great guy, he's responsible, he can take you financially to the next level, he can help you out. They don't care nothing about that. They care about all the wrong things. That's just the fact. They care about a lot of the wrong shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's always how it looks. And when they go around and they see these women, you know, look happy, or, you know, they got their husbands, and, you know, and they got their kids, and they got to do, and they hate that. I mean, it's just like when if you out with a girl and, they all want to be married. Then they say they don't want to be married. That's a lie. They all want to be married. You out with a girl and somebody proposed. Y'all, they could be at Applebee's, y'all could be at Roof Chris, y'all could be at a Riverwalk, y'all can just be out and about, and the guy proposed. And she go, oh my God. And, you know what I'm saying? Even if she didn't thinking about marriage, now she thinking about, that's how women are. When women see on Mother's Day, they don't have kids, and all these mothers taking pictures with their kids, and now I want a kid. And they don't see all the shit that go into having a kid. But a lot of these women, they get in their mid-30s, they chose a degree, they chose education, you know, they chose themselves overall. They're the real narcissists. They chose themselves, you know, and guess what? The education path never went the way they wanted it. It didn't go the way they wanted it to go. It didn't. Their educational path didn't go the way they wanted to go. I guarantee you, it did not go the way they wanted to go. They not where they want to be at in their careers. Most of them, they get these degrees and they get these jobs, and they're a subordinate where, you know, they're subordinate where they really wanted to go be the, you know, partner, or the number one doctor, or the number one lawyer, or the number one psychiatrist, or the number one therapist, and they're under somebody. They're basically in secretary roles or help me roles. But then, you know, they don't want to be a help me to a man. You know what I'm saying? What they was built to do, but that's a different question that's a different video for a different day. Okay. So when you look at their situation, of course, when they get there, now all of a sudden they want the kids and they want the family. No, that ship is fed. That ship is sailed. That ship is absolutely sailed. And they convinced that, well, I could have did this but you didn't do it. And this is what you end up figuring out when you break up with women, is they absolutely listen to your wants, your needs, your requests, and everything you tell them to. Only when you willing to walk away and they know you willing to leave, you get cooperation out of most American women, especially black women. When you in those relationships, when women get too comfortable, that's because they don't think you're gonna leave. And when you do leave, then they start doing everything you ask them to do to the T. You know what I'm saying? And then you gotta understand, it's like, nah, I'm good now. When a dude, they say when a woman fed up, ain't nothing. Yeah, it is. Bitches spin the block all the time. When a woman fed up, she still, if the dick was good, she still gonna come, suck your dick and do some shit and go about her day. Let's keep it real. But when a dude fed up for real, man, they can care less. He can care less. He can care absolutely less. But carrying on, it's just a coping mechanism that they know they made the wrong mistake. They always want what they can't have. You see women who got the family, or I want to go out and be a hoe. I want to go out and live my life. They always want what they can't have. They ain't never happy, never satisfied. If they went right of the fork, they want to know what left of the fork is. They went left of the fork, they want to know what right of the fork is. They always want to know what the other side is. They always wondering, thinking, believing, whatever the situation may be. You could be the ideal, perfect guy, and a woman would just still be like, fuck it, I want to go see, it is what it is. But a lot of those women who don't have children, I've met one that I really believe that did not mind having children. But the majority of them, they do. They do want children. They do want a family. But guess what? They just not good enough. Because when you look having a child, it ain't no longer about you. It's not about you no more. It's about the child. And most women them type of women make the worst mothers. When them narcissistic women, it's me. They make the worst mothers. My children, my home, no, it's us. It's we are a team. Hey, my money, we're a team. And like I said, that's something that you should work on if you plan on marrying a woman. If a woman is saying us and we, a lot of times you got a good woman, but it's always her children, mine, you got some work to do, homeboy, if it can be done. But they're bitter, bro. They're bitter. All their friends got kids and doing this and doing that. I can't go out tonight because I got a kid. And unfortunately, all these women, what they find out is they just, most of some young guy coming in or some guy just beating they back in and leaving. Beating they back in and leaving. Beating they back in and leaving. That's it. There was a guy in the comments say, I did a short. He was like, you made a contradiction when you said if they have money, then my thing is this, having money and keeping money. A man is a financial security. Most men are conservative spenders. That's why they be good down the road. Most women are overspenders. So you got money, they just spend. That's why a man is important, because he's like the disciplinarian. A woman is important, like, okay, we're going to enjoy this a little bit. So, at least you do something. We did something before you die. But it is what it is. Hit the link in the description, join the Patreon, subscribe, thumbs up the video, Pete.